If you've ever wondered how to get your family on board with being more healthy, maybe you've decided to make some changes for your hormones, as I talk about on this channel, or for your overall health, diabetes, weight loss, whatever it is, maybe to avoid some of those genetic disorders that you see running in your family. And you're wondering, how do you get your kids on board? How do you get your spouse on board without nagging, fighting, or going broke? You want them to get a buy-in right into the plan so you all are supporting each other. In this clip, you're going to hear a framework from someone who has almost 1 million followers across social media. This woman is a genius. She is Barbara O'Neill's personal assistant, also the founder of 𝐓𝐾 𝐕𝐢𝐝, and she's here to share with you one of the best frameworks I've ever heard about how to transition your family. In fact, I wish I had this when I transitioned my family because we went cold turkey. But today, you don't have to do that because you're going to hear a framework that is so amazing. This is going to help you, and this is going to level up your health, and not just you, but also the health of your family. Stay tuned to the end because I'm going to share something with you that you're not going to want to miss out on, especially if you're a mom with a daughter, a tween, a teen, and or if you're an aunt or grandma, someone who has a teenage girl in your life. This is going to be gold for you.
With all these principles that you follow and that you teach and that you live, how do you get your family on board? Because I know you talked about when you had breast implants, your sons were little.
Yeah.
And, your husband was serving, so he was probably,
It was
there and
rough.
back. How did you get everyone on board?
So, the best thing for parents, especially if you're new to this, is something that God showed me as I was going through it.
Good.
And he showed me toxic, better, optimal. Toxic, better, optimal. So toxic, what are the things in your home that are the most toxic? Okay. So for example, let's start with peanut butter. Okay. That's something that most parents might give their kids almost every day, peanut butter. Maybe it's a peanut butter with refined sugar. Maybe it's a peanut butter with rancid oils. So that's toxic, right? That's toxic for your kids' health. So what could be better? Getting an organic peanut butter with no sweetener and maybe just sea salt added, right? That's far better. And optimal would be an almond butter because almond butter doesn't have mold. Now, I'm not saying there's sometimes we have a little peanut butter. Listen, I'm not perfection. I'm 90-10. Once again, if I was perfect, I wouldn't need a savior. But I've done that whole perfect thing or trying to be perfect. And it made me sicker. It made me sicker because I was so overwhelmed with trying to be perfect that I was actually getting sicker in my journey, and I was making everyone uncomfortable around me. And so I was like, whoa, I need to step back. I need to take a breath here. And so no, I don't freak out if the kids have a little organic peanut butter. Sometimes, when I crave something on my 10% cheat time, it's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You know what I mean? On sourdough bread, homemade jelly, and a nice organic peanut butter. That is my cheat day. I love that. I don't have it all the time. Maybe once a year. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. But I don't aim for don't do anything wrong. It's not the odd day you do it or the odd day you don't. It's what you do consistently that matters. And so my consistent days are very, very good. And then there's days where I have a little thing like that, and I don't worry about it, and I don't guilt myself about it, and I don't beat myself up about it. So the best thing is toxic, better, best. Where are ways you can move? Don't just go in your pantry and throw everything out. I find that's really shocking, especially if your family is not on board. That is shocking to the whole family. So just slowly, and this is actually affordable for you just to say when that peanut butter is gone, then replace it with a healthier peanut butter. Maybe your kids are used to sweet peanut butter. So guess what? Add a little maple syrup, sweeten it up, mix it in, right? These are little things that you can do, little adjustments to make it better as you're slowly moving to almond butter. When I moved my kids to almond butter, the same thing. I had to add a little syrup, mix it in, and it was good, stir it in. Costco has great organics, so check out Costco for almond butter. Great stuff. So those are little ways, that you can get people on your family on board. Never nag. Be a example. When I was teaching, when I was learning to eat better, but my kids were still little, I remember my mom was opening candy bars in front of my 18-month-old twins, and she handed me some. My kids, but she ate some, and she went to hand my twins some. And they looked at her, they looked at me, they looked at the candy bar, they looked back at her, and they said, "No, no, no, mommy's only." And I was like, I couldn't even eat that candy bar. I was just shocked. Like that was I got reprimanded. I got, lovingly reproved for my bad like that's not a good example. And so I thought, oh, I need to do better. I need to be a better example. I can't tell them to do this if I'm not doing it.
Wow.
So explain to your children, explain to your family, do you know that this has this in it? And do you know that if we make better choices, greater things will happen for our bodies? And, it's important to teach them why, not, oh, it's bad for you. Eat your vegetables because they're good for you, because I said so. Don't do that. Actually make it exciting and fun. Get them in the kitchen with you. Get them learning to make smoothies. For your husband, learn how to make him his favorite foods healthier with better ingredients, and then work to optimal ingredients. You know what I mean? So don't force it. You're going to lose everyone if you force it on them. There's no love in that. When someone's sick, well, no wonder you're sick because you're eating this, blah, 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 blah. You could say, you know what? Why don't we stop eating that for a while? Let's drink some water. Let me, and then that's when you can really love people up and encourage them and show them. And it might take time. But the best time to change your kids' diet is when they're little, because they don't know the difference. Get healthy gummies. Like if your kids like gummies, okay, get the healthier ones. Get the ones that are made with, fruit and fruit dye and, maple syrup and, healthier options until you get to optimal.
I think that was so practical. That was so any mom listening right now, and this is a huge thing for moms, especially once they're on board and they're like, I'm done suffering, but I know that I need to also help the next generation. I don't want my kids to struggle either. And you were
Right.
just so practical with that. Thank you,
You
Jacqueline.
have, yeah, keep it easy.
Keep it easy, right?
Keep
And
it
don't,
simple.
that
Yeah.
was a big one. Don't nag. I think
Don't nag.
relationship is important,
You won't get anybody like that.
You
No way. I don't like when I nag myself. Ooh, don't.
would I nag myself?
Yeah, don't nag. Nagging's not a good character to have. Anytime you feel like nagging, just take a second and ask God for the wisdom. What should I say here? Okay, so what? Your husband doesn't want to eat what you want to eat? That's okay. Make him what he likes. Make what you like. Get the kids starting to get on board. Let him see what you're eating. I guarantee you, after a while, he's going to want to try some of that food. But if you say you should be eating this, you shouldn't be eating that. Well, you know why you're having that. It's because you're not eating this, you're eating that. You're not going to get anywhere with that, because it's not the love of God. The love of God is loving people where they're at, encouraging them to where they need to be.
Yeah, I made that mistake for a long time after reading, about health and that shock that I had as a nurse, and then now I'm like, oh, we should totally be healthy, and I've seen things that I've never seen before in the hospital at Eden Valley, and I was just like, it's almost like sometimes when we meet Jesus and we start beating people over their heads with the Bible, it was kind of the same way. And what just happened is that you just start to lose what's even more important, which is relationships. People are like, man, I don't know if we can have them over because I don't even know. I don't even know if I'm going to get it right. What do they eat?
Yeah. Well, you've heard the saying, never teach a man to swim who's drowning.
Ooh,
You
so good.
save them first. Then we have a whole discussion. But you said something a minute ago. The time that you would need to be extreme, go in your pantry, throw everything out, is when you're dealing with an extreme disease. No more,
Yes.
you have no more
Yes.
time to be
Yes.
90-10. It is 100% go time.
Yep.
100% all in. Father, I'm doing the possible. Bring on the
Yep.
impossible.
Yep.
I'm expecting miracles,
Yep.
wonders, signs. Let's do this.
This is
That's the
crisis.
only, exactly. Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh my, so good. I'm loving this conversation. Thank you so
It's
much.
fun. Yeah.
Wasn't that incredible? Wasn't that so practical? Toxic, better, optimal. Listen, consistency beats perfection every single time. Now, this is part of a larger video where I sat down with Jacqueline Bourne, and you will find the link in the description and on the screen as well. But here's what I saved to tell you till after the video is over. If you're a mom with a teen, with a tween, if you know a mom with a teen and tween daughter, and we know that they're already struggling with hormone imbalances, the acne, the weight struggles, and the depression and anxiety rates among our teenage girls, that is coming to a stop because next year, June 2026, we are hosting the one time ever event for moms and their daughters to get hormone education, reset, and transformation in one single event. It's going to be live, life-changing, and immersive. Click the link below and put yourself on that wait list. You're not going to want to miss it. You're not going to want to miss all the bonuses that are going to come before the event. Just so you know, Barbara O'Neill, yes, the international author, speaker, is our main speaker for the event. And of course, we have the guest I was just speaking to, Jacqueline Bourne, OK Be Healthy, with international products and a service that is helping women all over the world. I'm going to be there on stage as well, and many incredible women who are here to serve you and your daughter, so our daughters don't have to go through what we've been through. So they never have to walk this road. Why? Because they'll be educated, they'll be informed, they'll be empowered. They will know how to avoid the landmines we never knew were there. And even as a nurse, I was there being told nothing was wrong because the wrong tests were saying nothing was wrong with me. Now, we're not going to let that happen to our younger generation. And because I have tween girls, I have a heavy interest to make sure that they're empowered, they're ready. And when they face hormone challenges, they're going to know exactly what to do. We're going to help them overcome depression, love the bodies they're in, acne, PMS, issues with their periods, teenage depression, suicide rates are on the rise because no one can understand that these girls are going through the most, living in a world that is so against their hormones. Even if you don't have a daughter, pass this along to someone who has. And all you're going to do is go sign up on the wait list. It's a free wait list sign up. We're going to have special events coming up before the main event next year in June. And if you know a mom, if you know an aunt, if you know a grandma who has a teen or a tween, girl, please send this to them so they can at least check it out, so that one more life, one more of our little girls will be put on the right path. And guess what? She can be the light to her friends, and she can spread on, and she can be that picture of health, turn around her whole future so she does not have to go through what we went through. And best of all, so that you get to fall in love with the girl you're in once again, and that these little girls never fall out of love with her. Get those hormones in order, get your blood chemistry in order, and beautiful things are gonna happen for you. All right, girl, I'm gonna see you in the next video. See ya. Bye.